Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Grasley, and this is Grasley Games. I play games, I open products, and when I open boosters, I read every card in every pack. And I'm going to be building a sealed deck today from a pool of cards that I opened in a recent box of Amonkhet, so 6 packs. And this is what I got in those packs. Glory-Bound Initiate and Regal Caracal in white. Those were the rares. Dispossess was this sorcery down here in black. Also got Never to Return, Oracle's Vault, and Cascading Cataract. So not a lot of big bomb creatures here to work with. The cat here and the Glory-Bound Initiate, though, maybe have some potential. So let's start there. Let's start in white and see what we have. So Glory-Bound Initiate is a 3/1 that you can exert to make it a 4/4 with lifelink. And Regal Caracal, when it comes in, you get a couple of cat tokens, and other cats you have that you control get +1/+1 and lifelink. And that costs 5. Glory-Bound Initiate costs only 2. So Glory-Bound Initiate is more of a an aggro strategy. You're getting out there quickly and trying to do a bunch of damage early on. Regal Caracal is sort of a go-wide token strategy. So both of those are maybes. Let's see what the rest of white looks like. Protection of the Heckma is an enchantment that lets you prevent some damage that your opponent would be dealing to you. Costs 5, so you're getting it out there pretty late. Not a wonderful card, I don't think. Okay, I'm just going to, these are all in order of mana cost. So Cartouche of Solidarity gives you a warrior when it comes in, and an enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and first strike. So maybe that could be helpful, especially given if we have our Glory-Bound Initiate as a 4/4. I got 2 of those, so that's a possibility. Fanbearer, which I was noticing is pretty badly dinged up just right out of the pack. Pay 2 and tap it to tap a target creature. That's a nice control possibility. Compulsory Rest is like a pacifism. Ret Crop Spearmaster can be exerted to get first strike and +1/+0 to make it a 4/1. So, and that's only 3 mana, so not too bad when you're exerting it. Forsake the Worldly is an instant to exile an artifact or enchantment. It does have cycling, that's nice. Winged Shepherd costs 6, Flying Vigilance 3/3 only, but it does have cycling for just 1, so it's pretty easy to get rid of that card out of your hand if you want to. So there's some possibilities there for maybe an aggro type deck or somewhere in the middle. Not super consistent though. In blue, we have Censor, which is a conditional counterspell with a cycling cost of only 1. We have another Cartouche. This one gives a creature +1/+1 and flying, and it does cantrip. It has a draw a card as a one of the abilities. And look, we have 2 of those as well. Seeker of Insight lets you loot if you've cast a non-creature spell. That's a pretty high bar to reach, though. Essence Scatter counters a target creature spell. Winds of Rebuke, you can bounce a non-land permanent to its owner's hand and then put 2 cards in each graveyard. Illusory Wrappings, that is to nerf a creature, makes it a 0/2. Costs 3 and it's an aura. Shimmer Scale Drake is pretty good. It's a flying 3/4 and it has cycling 2, so that can be pretty nice. It does cost 5 to get out there, but that's all right. River Serpent, you can only use later in the game when you have cards in your graveyard, but that's typically when you can cast it for 6. It also has cycling 1, and we got 2 of those. So there's some possibilities for a later game strategy there to get us, keep us under control for a while. In black, Dispossess is it's the anti-Kaladesh card. Choose an artifact card name and get rid of them all from your opponent. So that's probably not going to be super useful for us in a limited format. Faith of the Devoted is for us. If you have cycling going on, cycling and discard, then you get to drain 2 life. So if we end up in cycling, then that is a good include. Gravedigger lets you get a creature from your graveyard. That's cool. Grim Strider, -1/-1 for each card in your hand. So it's a 6/6. If we end up in colors that let us dump a lot of cards where we're sort of on the edge of our seat, then that might be a good include as well. 4 mana for a 6/6. If you have 3 cards in your 3 cards in your hand, though, it's 4 mana for a 3/3. Stir the Sands makes zombies. Let's see what we have for zombies here. Festering Mummy gives us a couple of zombies here. Miasmic Mummy is a zombie. Blighted Bat is a zombie, so we're doing all right on zombies here. Then we get Painful Lesson, not a fabulous card. Well, it's not too bad. You pay 3 to draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Maybe. At sorcery speed. Wander in Death, you can get 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, cycle it for 2. So that's like the Gravedigger ability a couple of times. Splendid Agony, you can put 2 -1/-1 counters, so that's some removal. There's a couple of those. Pitiless Vizier, When you cycle or discard, it gets indestructible. It's only has 2 toughness, but it is a 4/2, so a little on the lean side though for 4 mana. Horror of the Broken Lands. When you cycle or discard, it gets +2/+1, and it has a cycling cost of just 1. So there is some cycling there. There's some zombies there. Not really matching what we have so far in white and blue. Battlefield Scavenger. You can discard and then draw, so the rummage. We do have a cartouche here again. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and haste. Oh, and also when it enters the battlefield, a target creature can't block, so maybe getting through for some damage. Blazing Volley does 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. This is the 1/3 prowess creature. Nephcrop Entangler, when you exert it, it turns into a 3/3 with trample. Tormenting Voice. Brute Strength, give a creature +3/+1 and trample, so maybe. Fling. Thresher Lizard gets +1/+2 if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So that's going to go well with that other black creature, I guess. Emberhorn Minotaur, when you exert it, it gets +1/+1 and menace, so that makes it a 5/4 for 4 when it's exerted. Otherwise, it's a 4/3, which isn't bad. Pursue Glory gives all your creatures +2/+0 when they're attacking, and that's has a cycling option as well. Oh, I have 3 of those. Manticore the Gauntlet, that's a 5/4. You have to put a -1/-1 somewhere, but it does 3 damage to an opponent, not to a creature. And Desert Ceradon is a 6/4 with a cycling cost. So there's some cyclers in there. That could be a possibility. Might go well enough with our black stuff there. Manglehorn, also good. This is another anti-Kaladesh card. You can destroy an artifact, and artifacts your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. This is also good against those monument cards that your opponents will be using to reduce their mana costs. We have some of those here, so we'll take a look. Watchful Naga, when you exert it, you draw a card. So it's a 2/2, so you may be attacking with it, and you get to draw a card. So at the very least, you can attack into something that's going to kill it and draw a card to replace it. 3 mana, though. Sheffet Monitor costs 4 to cycle, 6 to play. It's a 6/5, and if you do cycle it, you can go get a land. And you put it onto the battlefield, the land. Oashra Cultivator is a ramp card and a creature. Shed Weakness, yeah, +2/+2 and remove a 1/1 counter, so it's sort of like Giant Growth if a creature has a -1/-1 counter on it already. Naga Vitalist lets you add mana. That's good, and we ended up with 3 of those, so there's lots of ramp here now. That's 3 ramp spells plus going to search for a basic or a desert. Initiate's Companion, when it deals combat damage, you untap a target creature or land, so that can act as ramp, but it can also act as sort of pseudo-vigilance. 2 of those. Haze of Pollen is our fog. 2 of those. We ended up with a lot of 2-ofs in green. Benefaction of Ronus. I don't like this card for limited, especially. Get a creature or enchantment from the top 5 cards of your deck and put the rest into your graveyard. We don't have that many cards, and I don't know. I don't know if we need to have that many in our graveyard. Hooded Brawler, you can exert it to give it +2/+2. It's a 3/2, so it becomes a 5/4. 3/2 for 3 is okay. Playable, but not great. And you can exert it when it's a good time, and a pretty significant exert payoff. Quarry Hauler is interesting. When it enters the battlefield, for each kind of counter on target permanent, so pick 1, you can put another counter of that type or remove 1 from it. So get rid of one of your -1/-1 counters, or put an extra one on an opponent's creature, or maybe put a brick counter on something. Okay, green feels not too bad to me. Let's look at our multicolor creatures here. Wayward Servant, when a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So okay, we're in white-black to make that happen. We had some zombies in black, but not really in white. Honored Crop Captain, when it attacks, other attacking creatures get +1/+0. Red-white, that's a possibility. We had some red stuff, and white had kind of an aggro thing happening. Aven Wind Guide, Flying Vigilance, other creature tokens get Flying and Vigilance. I don't think that's going to be good enough for what we have here so far. Kenra Charioteer gives your other creatures trample, red and green. That's a maybe. That's a for sure maybe. Onward to Victory, you give a target creature a boost, and the victory part is giving a creature double strike for 3. That's pretty good if we were in white-red. Never to Return, destroy target creature or planeswalker, very nice, and you can exile a target card from a graveyard, any graveyard, and create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So you might, for example, target somebody else's Aftermath card or an Embalm card so they can't bring it back out of their graveyard. Okay, we did get Oracle's Vault. Oracle's Vault is really interesting. You pay 2 and tap it to exile the top card of your library, and until the end of turn, you can play that card and you put a brick counter on it. And then later, after you have 3 brick counters, you can just tap it to exile and play the top card of your library without paying its mana cost. The only trouble here, you're going to pay 4 to get it on the battlefield, 6 to get up to 3 bricks, unless you have some other trick. And the other significant part to remember is that when you exile the top card of your library the first 3 times around before you have all those brick counters, well, if you can't play it, it stays there. It's not like it comes back. So if you happen to exile the thing you really need too early on and can't play it, you're not getting it back. So there is a risk there using Oracle's Vault, unless you have multiple copies of your bombs. And we don't, so it's definitely something to be choosy about. You're probably not going to be activating that immediately. So this is kind of slow. It'll be cool and constructed, but I don't know if this is the right place for it. Ronis's Monument makes your green creatures cheaper, and also gives +2/+2 and trample when you cast a creature spell. I like that one quite a bit. Oketra's Monument makes your white creatures cheaper, and you get a warrior token. I like that one too. Edifice of Authority, not really. It's for a control build, so maybe. Cascading Cataracts, not really useful for us at this point. It's too expensive to have to wait so long before you're starting to get colored mana. Sun-Scorched Desert deals 1 damage to a target player, and again, colorless mana. I don't think fixing is already hard enough. I don't think we're going to want that. So you know what I'm feeling like? I'm feeling like maybe we want to go green-white or green-red. Now we do have a monument in both white and green, so that's a possibility. I think I'm just going to go down that road to save some time here, and yeah, I don't think we have enough creatures in red to make that work. So let's say we end up in green and white. We don't really have any multicolored creatures to work from. We're not going to play that. We're not going to play that. I think we're not going to use Oracle's Vault and Edifice of Authority. I don't think those are going to happen. We'll keep an Evolving Wilds or 2, though, for some fixing. Now let's see what we ended up with here in white. So definitely keeping Oketra's Monument. It's going to make everything cheaper. Keep these guys for some early aggro and some later stuff as well. Protection of the Heckma, I think not. Cartouche's Solidarity, sure. Now creature-wise, let's just start there. Can we get enough creatures out of this color? There's 4. That's 6 creatures in white so far if we keep all those. And those shepherds are expensive, but we do have a cycling cost of only 1, so we can probably dump them if we need to. So that gives us 6 creatures in white and a couple of removal spells, and then those cartouches for a boost. Okay. In green, we'll keep that Monument. Quarry Hauler is a big creature. Hooded Brawler, yeah, we'll start with having 2 of those. Benefaction of Ronis is a definite no, thank you. Haze of Pollen, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to set that off to the side here. Initiate's Companion, though, I kind of like that. 3/1, so that's fast. Naga Vitalist. I'm going to take all 3 of those. I like that card. Build up some mana quickly. Shed Weakness. +2/+2. Combat Trick. I'll put that with the Haze of Pollen. Oashra Cultivator, I'll keep that. Sheffet Monitor, I like. Watchful Naga, that's the one where you draw a card if you exert. So you do that whether he hits or not, which is nicer. Manglehorn, I don't think we want in this deck. Okay, so let's see where we ended up with. Creature-wise, we had lots of green creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 6 more in white. So that's 17. That feels pretty good. So there's our 17 cards. 2 more is 19. We have 21 with those removal spells. And then from here, well, we can do a cartouche, we can do a fog, or a combat trick. I don't know. I think the fog has cycling, but it costs 3 to cycle. That's quite a bit. I don't know. Where did it end up here? 21? I think I'm just going to take the cartouches and try to get in for some first strike damage. So I think that was 23. Let's see if I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We'll take 2 Evolving Wilds, and then we'll split the white and green cards up depending on the number of mana pips. Okay, whew, went kind of fast there. I hope that was all right. And from the tokens there, I did get a cat, so that's helpful, and a warrior. We'll keep those tokens handy there. Okay, that's my deck. Did I do okay? What would you have done? Is that a good choice to go sticking with the white and the green, or did I make a mistake there? I'd appreciate you letting me know, because I'd like to learn from you. I would appreciate it a lot if you could go down and hit the like button and the subscribe button, and then go into the comments and tell me what you think. You can always get a hold of me on Facebook or Twitter. There's Patreon, WordPress, lots of ways to talk to me. So thanks very much, everybody. GG. Talk to you soon.